Coming up on climate change. Climate change refers to a long-term shift in temperature, precipitation, patterns, and other aspects of Earth's climate change system. It's primarily driven by human activity, notably of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide or CO2, methane CH4, and nitrous oxide N2O, which traps heat in the atmosphere and leads to global warming. One of the most concerning aspects of climate change is the impact on the environment. Rising temperatures contributes to melting of polar ice caps and glaciers, leading to sea level rises. This threatens coastal communities, biodiversity, and ecosystems. Extreme weather events like hurricanes, droughts, and heat waves become more frequent and severe, causing loss of lives and property damage. Moreover, climate change embraces existing environmental issues. For instance, warmer temperatures can worsen air quality, leading to respiratory problems. Changing in precipitation patterns can affect water ability or quality, impacting drinking water supplies and sanitation. The social and environmental consequences of climate change are significant. Vulnerable populations, including the poor, elderly, and marginalized communities, are disproportionately affected. Displacement due to sea level rising, extreme weather events, and loss in livelihoods can lead to conflict, food insecurity, and economic instability. Climate change requires global warming cooperation and urgent actions. This Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015, aims to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius above pure industrial levels, with effort to limit it to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Countries plead to reduce greenhouse gas translations to renewable energy sources and enhance to climate impacts. Individuals' actions also play a communal role in contributing climate changes. Reducing energy, using public transport, and adopting sustainable practices at home and in work can help magnify carbon emissions. Supporting politicals and individuals that promote renewable energy conservation and climate adaptation efforts is essential. Ultimately, addressing climate change requires a constant effort of governments, business, civil society, and individuals worldwide. By working together, we can limit its impacts, building references, and creating a sustainable future for generations to come. For the widespread recognition of climate change, the environment was often seen as an infinite resource capable of absorbing any amount of population or exploration. Industrial and technological advancements fueled rapid economic growth, but with little regard for the consequences on the planet. Air and water pollution will repacked, with industries releasing toxins into the environment without much regard. Deforestation and habitat destructions were widespread and unurbanized. There was prevailing benefits that the Earth's ecosystem was resilient enough to bounce back for any damage inflicted upon them. Climate change was not yet understood as a global crisis, and the science's consequence has not yet solidified. However, there was early warnings from scientists about political impacts on human activity on the climate. It wasn't until the late 20th century that the issue began to gain significant attention, with the landmark events such as the formation of the Intergovernmental Panel of the Climate Change (IPCC) and the United Nations Framework Convention of Climate Change (UNFCCC). These efforts helped to raise awareness about the urgency of addressing climate change and spurred international cooperation to mitigate its effects. On how climate change works. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperature. The Earth receives energy from the sun in the form of sunlight. Some of this energy is reflected back into space, while the rest of it is absorbed by the Earth's surface. The absorbed energy warms the sun, and as it does, it heats its form in infrared radiation. Greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide or CO2, methane CH4, and water vapor H2O trap some of this outgoing heat, preventing it from escaping back into space. This trapped heat keeps the Earth's surface warmer than it should be, otherwise creating a stable climate that supports life as we know it. However, human activities, primarily the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, or natural gases, have significantly increased the condition of greenhouse effects in the atmosphere. This enhanced greenhouse effects of trapping the heat, leading to rise in global temperatures and the known of global warming. Climate change requires collective access to the reduced greenhouse gases emissions by transporting to renewable energy sources, improving energy efficiency, protecting and restoring ecosystems that have acts on carbon sinks, and adapting sustainable practices in transportation and industry. Addressing climate change is one of the most pressuring challenges of time. Reducing cooperation and committing from individuals, communities, governments, and businesses worldwide to limit the impacts on safeguard for the planets and future generations. Some reasons on how to change climate change. 1. Transporting to renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydropower. 2. Eliminating energy-efficient practices to industries, transports, and buildings. 3. Protecting and restoring ecosystems such as forests and western lands to absorb carbon dioxide. 4. Permitting substantial, artificial, and reducing food waste. 5. Encouraging politicals that limit greenhouse gases emissions, such as carbon practicing or cap and trade systems. And lastly, number 6. Rising awareness and adapting for climate of actions at individual, communities, and global levels. Also, you can help climate change by spreading the word and helping lower the intense heat waves by using less oil and less coal, so save your car energy and don't leave lights on in homes. Climate change possesses a multiple-faced threat to our planet, touching upon environmental, social, economic, and political domains. At its core, the issue stems for excessive of greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, which traps heat in the Earth's atmosphere, leading to the rise of global temperature. Firstly, environmental ramifications include rising sea levels due to melting polar ice caps, leading to coastal erosions and inundation of low-lying areas. This threatens not only human settlements but also variable ecosystems such as coral reefs and wetlands. Additionally, climate change exacerbates extreme weather events, including hurricanes, droughts, and wildfires, causing widespread deforestation and loss of life. Secondly, the social impact of climate change is profound. Displacement of communities due to sea level rising and extreme weather events result in climate change, straining resources and leading to social unrest. Furthermore, vulnerable populations, including the poor and elderly, marginalized groups, bear the brunt of climate-related disasters, facing heightened health risks, food insecurity, and economic hardships. Economically, climate change possesses significant challenges: disruptions in artificial production, water scarcity, and damage to infrastructure results in substantial economic losses. This cost of manufacturing and adaptation efforts are staggering, further bounding for governments and societies already gapping with other pressure issues. Politically, climate change embraces tension over the resource distribution, migration, and international corporations. Disagreements over the emission targets and climate politicals. Global efforts to combat in this essential threat. Moreover, the unqualified distribution of responsibility of historical emissions completes negativity among nations, leading to the diplomatic impacts. Addressing climate change requires concert actions of all levels, from individuals' lifestyles changing to international agreements and technological inventions, transitions to renewable energy sources, implementing sustainable land uses, and investigating in climate resettlement, infrastructure, and crucial steps toward a migration impact. However, overcoming politicals and vested interests remain a formidable change in the fight against climate change. Only throughout the collective action of global corporation can we hope to safeguard the planet in the future generations. Climate change is one of the most pressuring issues of our time, with far-reaching consequences for the planet and all of its inhabitants. It refers to long-term shifts in temperature, precipitation, and other atmospheric conditions, primarily driven by human activities, such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial processes. This impacts of climate change is already being felt around the globe, from rising sea levels threatening coastal communities to more frequent and several extreme weather events like hurricanes, droughts, and heat waves. One of the most concerning aspects of climate change is political. To disrupt ecosystems and biodiversity. As temperatures rise, many species are facing habitat loss. Altered migration patterns are increasing competition for resources, leading to deadlines in population numbers and even extinction. Coral reefs, for example, are highly sensitive to change in temperature and are experiencing widespread bleaching events as ocean waters warm, threatening the diverse marine life that depends on them. In addition of environmental impacts, climate change also proposes on a significant risk to human societies. It can exacerbate food and water insecurities, particularly in regions already vulnerable to droughts and deforestation. Political may decline as change weather patterns disrupt traditional growing seasons and increase the prevention of pests and diseases. This can also lead to food shortages, manipulation, and conflicts over dwelling resources. Furthermore, climate change has a social and economic disparity, affecting communities and existing inequalities. Lower incomes populations, especially in developing countries, often lack that resources and infrastructure to adapt to changing conditions, making them more respectful to impacts of climate change. In weather nations, the cost of migrating and adapting to climate change can strain public budgets and heighten economic growth. Ultimately, tracking climate change requires political will, technological inventions, and change in individual behavior. By taking defense action now, we can mitigate the most severe consequences of the climate change and create a more sustainable, resilient future of more generations to come. Thank you for listening in on how we can change climate change and make the world a better place. 5/13/2024. Bye.